birthday, Cecil. Cecil Wayne Carroll's birthday, everybody. Cecil Wayne Carroll's birthday. Cecil's birthday. Happy birthday, Cecil. Hey, everybody. Cecil Wayne Carroll's birthday. If you don't know Cecil Wayne Carroll, look at random news on YouTube. Order of magnitude on YouTube. Cecil Wayne Carroll's birthday, everybody. Cecil's birthday. Happy birthday. Cecil. Happy birthday, Cecil. High Street Paranormal on YouTube. Happy birthday, Cecil. Cecil's birthday, everybody. Hope you have a happy birthday, Cecil. High Street Paranormal on YouTube. Master Shredder on YouTube. You don't know who Cecil is. Order of magnitude on YouTube. You don't know who Cecil is. Wish Cecil a happy birthday. Krusty Rabbit Hole on YouTube. You don't know who Cecil is. Wish him all a happy birthday. Wish Cecil a happy birthday. I need you all to go home now. You're all very special, but you need to go home. It's Cecil's birthday. Happy birthday, Cecil. Right, we're going to go through the high points of this live stream from Master Shredder. I encourage you to watch the whole stream without my commentary, and I'll leave a link at the end of this video and in the description. So let's get on with it, folks.
Hello, my son. Hello, my son. Mom says she hopes you're doing well. We miss you.
Hey, thanks, Dad. Hey, Dad, hang on 1 second. This might affect my stream, but I gotta put something in my GPS. Just give me 1 moment, please.
RV Charity Drive just cracked the joke about Master Shredder being his son, which, you know, I don't know where Cecil is getting it from, because he knows damn rightly what relation they are to each other. He's just trying to be funny.
All right.
Right, they are just going to discuss a way forward to end the cycle of this, and it is a cycle.
Are we still there?
Still there, still there.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry about that.
Hey, did you get the Apple AirTags I left for you at the White Castle?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
All right, making sure.
Thank you.
Nope, no problem. Should work wonders. They're a lot easier to track and they have a lot longer battery life.
Oh, yeah. That was a great idea. So today's Cecil's birthday.
Happy birthday, Cecil.
Oh.
He's the birthday boy today.
Happy
What did he
birthday.
get for his birthday? Did he get another IP camera to put in his house to spy on people? What do you get?
No doubt he will show us what he got for his birthday. He always does, like a big child.
Come on, man. You know, nobody gets it nothing, man. You don't get nobody nothing.
I mean, I look. The dude streams with no chat, streams with no comments log. We've won. He can't.
Exactly. He can't do anything. He's kind of trapped in a corner now. You know? It's kind of been... 2023 has been a very interesting year in the line of Cecil being restricted. Because if he opens up his channel for communications with other people, he's only going to end up being frustrated and continuing to block people. And this is why now Cecil has to resort to turning off his comments, which means that his videos don't go out in YouTube as much as they would be if there was comments, likes, shares, all that kind of thing. All that kind of helps. But who would want to share Cecil's videos anyway, because of the way he talks and what he says?
He can't interact. He basically uploads the responses, which is basically what we've had to do since he's had us all blocked in his chats anyway.
The thing about these videos is, for the ordinary viewer who accidentally comes across Cecil's channel, nobody's going to know what this is all about. Because Cecil just rants and doesn't put what he's saying into context. He doesn't give a brief explanation of what this is all about. All they see is some lunatic on YouTube ranting. That's all it is.
But I'm wondering for a moment. As you know, I can't talk about a certain person because I'm taking them to court. But I think we together can take Cecil to court for the same thing, because he has made accusations against us with no basis of fact, no evidence. He's called us child molesters, woman beaters, spousal abusers, woman haters. He's called us incest. We have sex with each other. He's called us father and son instead of brothers. I mean, that's certainly not slander, but the incest part is, for sure.
Definitely. And, you know, I've suffered this too, so I know firsthand what it's like. I think it's important that you document all these, because Cecil does have a habit of deleting things that he thinks might incriminate him, but sometimes he does mess up and just leave things the way they are without, you know, without thinking about them. Just like the case of Life After Life as Cuckoo. He accused me of being a cheese pizza. He plainly says it on the video, and I'm looking into that. But just make sure that you record and keep a copy of everything that Cecil says in the line of slander. Because at the end of the day, this can't keep going on. Cecil wants us to be quiet, and he doesn't want to take accountability, but we have to make him take accountability.
Along with the fact that he's calling us pedophiles with virtually no evidence whatsoever, because there's no such evidence that exists. And I'm kind of tired, and I think you are too, of the whole back and forth thing with the videos. Because really all it does is it's a response from us, a response from him, response from us, a response from him. We have all the videos of him making the claims that he made about the people that he used to babysit. So we're not slandering him because we have this thing called evidence, which the court's not going to just accept our evidence as evidence. They're going to put it through, a digital forensics to ensure that it's accurate and it's not some made-up thing.
I think you're right there, because we can keep going around in circles, but we have to move forward in some sort of way. And in order to move forward in some sort of way, we have to resort to other measures other than just making response videos. Because, as you said, he makes a video, we make a video, he makes a video, we make a video. Now, it has been effective in as far as his public presence on YouTube is. But at some stage, this needs to end. And I think that's where RV is coming from. And I totally agree.
Before they accept it as evidence. But then he's gonna have to present his evidence. He's gonna have to present evidence of us on his property, which doesn't exist. He's gonna have to submit evidence of us sticking things to bus signs, which doesn't exist. He's gonna have to submit evidence of leaving things in flower pots, which doesn't exist. He's gonna have to submit evidence of us following his wife and girlfriend and child to their school and to their work, which doesn't exist.
When RB is explaining that, one of the incidents was a note that was left, so supposedly left, under a flower pot or in a flower pot at Cecil's property. And it says in the note something like, just thought I would drop by, or something to that effect. I can't remember the word by word, but the critical part of it was the way he spelled by, and he spelt it in BYE, which neither Master Shredder or RV would spell it that way. And we do know that Cecil does make spelling mistakes on a regular basis. I'm not criticising people that make spelling mistakes, but Cecil is renowned for doing that. So it gives us the impression that the note was fabricated by Cecil himself.
But we can prove that he's threatened to shoot us in the face. We can prove that he came to confront us at Walmart, waiting until after we left, of course. He was probably parked across the street waiting for the RV to pull out before he actually pulled in. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, he came up threatening
with two guns, and his wife already told him that what we were doing while she was on the phone with the police was completely legal.
Yes, you have the right to public protest. Do you know? Cecil is trying to make out that a public protest is against the law to try and protect himself. But the truth of the matter is, you have a right to your First Amendment, which is comes under free speech. I do know this because of the ramping up of protesters outside Scientology centres, which has been my binge watch for the last couple of weeks, because it's really starting to ramp up in Hollywood Boulevard and Clearwater in Florida. It's been very, very interesting.
So what are you showing up to confront?
Exactly. He's going to attack two law-following and law-abiding people. He's going to, I guarantee you, he wants to put a bullet in our asses. I mean, he said it himself. And we have...
Oh, he's looking for any reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, he recently displayed that he had basically tried to intimidate us with the threat of full force, which doesn't go in his favour, because the fact that he did invite and encourage people to face him face to face, then recently turns around and says if he feels that a RV charity drive or Master Shredder encounter him, I think he mentioned Master Shredder, that he feels his life is in danger, yet he encouraged and taunted at them to go face him. You know, he completely contradicted himself, which would not help him in court.
We have no problem having our evidence checked out. He does.
I've never, ever, and nobody here can point it out, never once have I had an issue with having our evidence looked at. We've already paid an actual outside agency to analyze the video. Krusty has analyzed the video. I'm pretty sure Scooter's not an idiot. Scooter probably looked at the video before he ever decided to join the group and keep a pressure point on this guy's neck. People aren't just automatically assuming what we're saying is true. They're watching the video and they're looking for the evidence themselves. And as Scooter can attest, as Random can attest, as you can attest, as Magnitude can attest, as everybody in this chat can attest, it's not just that confession video.
Yeah. As far as the confession video is concerned, what I had done was basically very simply increase the gain to as high as I could get it in order to find the background noise. Cecil claimed that the video was edited, so if the video was edited, the background noise would be edited as well. It would be chopped out, and whatever else is put in, that background noise would come with that piece of clip. And I found that the background noise stayed intact the whole way through. And you know, in crucial parts of that video where he admitted to doing things, there was a dog that was on the street some distance away, but you could hear it when you increase the gain. I didn't do anything more fancier than that. I did use a little piece of software that, you know, does some voice matching, and I lined it up with a recent video of Cecil talking, and the voices, as far as I could see, were the same voices. So the voice wasn't altered in any way. But, you know, in a recent video that I done, Cecil admitted that the copy that I used, which came from from Irish Steve-O, he was in that video. And he was trying to claim that video. Now, if he's trying to claim that video, he is basically saying that his content is in that video. And at the time, it was 3 years ago or something like that, he didn't say that that video was edited in any way. So, you know, he puts his foot in it every time. So you just have to keep an eye out for that and document it.
He has made over 200 videos of criminal-like activity and comments and exploitations about children, to children. Don't forget, we still have the 2 videos of him admitting to showing up at 2 random people's houses. Well, they're not random. I think one of them was Lyco's house, to confront him. Lyco was 13 or 14 years old. He's confronting a child at their house.
Yes, and he actually was filming at the time. And if he had made that video public, he technically would have been exposing Lyco's location, basically doxing him.
Children.
Yeah, children. You know, so we have ample evidence. I know that he managed to talk to his lawyer today on a Sunday. Must be a great lawyer.
he's full of shit.
To prove that you committed a crime. To prove that you committed a crime. It is not illegal for somebody who works in Covington to drive in Covington. It's not illegal to drive by somebody's house. It's not illegal to look into somebody's windows as you're driving through their neighborhood.
I found it very strange when Cecil recently made a video, and while he was talking he was showing his video cameras, and where the cameras were facing the street. Now, if he was protecting his house, he has created a blind spot basically outside his house. The cameras are pointing up the street at neighbours' houses. I find that very concerning. So I don't know if Cecil is, you know, stalking neighbours or, you know, just street watching people walk by. I'm not going to go into anything more than that, but I just found it strange that right under his window is a complete and utter blind spot, that if he was protecting his home, he would cover the area right outside his house. But the cameras were facing up the street.
There's nothing wrong with that. None of that's illegal.
And just like Krusty covered the other day, he stated that too. I mean, Cecil seems to be the only one that doesn't know. If we really wanted to, we could go and picket outside of the front of his house.
Yes, because he does not own the sidewalk. And that's something I learned from, that's something I could say Bullhorn Betty taught me. You can go out there with a bullhorn on his sidewalk and say that this person made a video admitting to sexually molesting 2 children when he was 16, 17, and 18. Here's a link to the video. We can even play the video on a laptop right outside on the sidewalk. We could sit there on the sidewalk all day long as people pass us by and be like, hey, we'd like to show you this video of somebody that lives in your neighborhood. Here you go. That's not illegal.
Yeah, now, I don't know what the difference between the laws between LA, Kentucky, or whatever, but in LA, I got a lot of information from a number of different channels in the line of Scientology audits. There is a guy called Chris Without a Hellcat, who is a Scientology protester, and he has a bullhorn, and he walks up and down the street, shouting slogans and making funny jokes at Scientologists and stuff. Now, a couple of nights ago, the LAPD had pulled up to the protesters, and for a change, the LAPD officer was actually quite nice, but he couldn't make any comment on, the reviews on Scientology, because we know some of the LAPD is wrapped up in Scientology. But the officer encouraged him to, encouraged him and advised him that when you're using that loudspeaker, to point the loudspeaker away from the building. Because, yes, they have a right to their First Amendment, but Scientology have a right to their religion. And a protest, as long as you're not obstructing the sidewalk or obstructing the entrances or exits of buildings, they have a right to a protest. So you got Chris Without a Hellcat, another guy that's very, very good at auditing. He started auditing the LAPD and is now auditing Scientology. He is really well up on rules and regulations and laws in regard to a peaceful protest. And they're very, very interesting streams. They've been streaming every night. Activity is kicking up. And we have an ex-Scientologist who travelled to the area from Clearwater, called Aaron Smith-Levin, and he got arrested even though he was assaulted. And there was very, very interesting things that came from that. And in fact, the officer that arrested him, now they claimed that he wasn't arrested, he was detained until an investigation took place, even though Aaron was not questioned in any way. He was just held for 4 hours in a bathroom, which but yeah, a lot of very interesting information came from those channels and that. So I encourage you to look at Scientology Audit Streets of LA. That's he is very, very good at keeping the police accountable. And Chris Without a Hellcat, and then Growing Up in Scientology is another channel. So, you know, things are ramping up there in the line of public protest, and they are trying to keep within the law because they don't want to end up being the bad guy.
Because we have video evidence of you saying that. You claim it's fake. You have never proven, and you never will prove, that it's fake because it's real. It's you. You've said those things. Now, you can fool your girlfriend, and you can fool your relatives all you want, but you have not fooled us. You have not fooled this platform. And yeah, only one person needs to comment on you. Only one person needs to comment to you. We don't need all 300 people in this movement to make comments about you, because the rest of the time we're spending is recording your streams, recording your videos, and cataloging the evidence that you continuously can keep committing. I don't need to make a video to him. I don't need to leave a comment for him. There's no point to it anymore. We're at a point where we either have to take away his freedom or take away his money, whichever one is. He's definitely not going to have the money for a slander case. I'll tell you that, right? He's not going to be able to pay it. So he's going to have to spend time. He's going to have to spend time in jail. And the only victim here, because he can't keep his fucking mouth closed, is going to be his girlfriend and his kid. And I feel bad about that, but I'm at a point where I'm tired of people like him slandering my name on this platform by calling me a child molester. I'm done with it. By calling me a homosexual stalker that wants to put his balls in my mouth. I'm tired of that. That is disgusting. It's slanderous, and I'm done with it.
Yeah, I can completely understand. And the thing is, with the character of Cecil, and, you know, he always boasts that he's here protecting his family, he's here working hard for his family. But at the end of the day, Cecil is all about himself. You know, and if push came to shove, he would throw his daughter and his partner under the bus to save himself.
Amen. Amen. Well said. I mean, that's what has to happen at this point. You know, it's the perfect opportunity. So happy birthday, Cecil. Look at your mouth has done again.
And as you may have noticed, you don't see me making videos about him anymore. You don't see me sharing streams about him anymore, along with the other person that I will be taking to court. Because what's the point? It's just it turns into a back and forth game of words, which he sucks at. It absolutely is one-sided because the evidence is on our side, not his. And it becomes basically who can say the worst shit back to each other. What's the point anymore, brother? We can't do that. We got to take him to court and we got to be done with it.
I think I totally agree with that, you know. And I know, you know, I'm covering this order of magnitude covers this subject, scooter, random use, and that those actions are helpful in that, but at some stage it needs to stop. Cecil is just continuing doing what he's doing. He has taken a beating, but at the same time he is still trying to bail water out of a sinking ship. And it's gone on a little bit too long, because, when it comes to Cecil and the things he was caught up in, those incidents and those crimes and those victims still, prolonging this doesn't help victims. It needs to end as soon as possible. Because, we do have to think, and we do have to remember that there is victims in all of this, and we need this to stop now, because it only prolongs pain of, victims.
We have to, because we have given him so many opportunities.
Yeah.
Set the record straight, to make things right, to take some accountability for his actions. And
we've given him plenty of opportunities. We have given him plenty. I've said numerous times. Scooter has said it. You've said it. Steve-O has said it. Your mom, Map, has said it. Stop talking about us. Do your raps. Do your little guitar stuff. Do your little studio stuff. And don't worry about anything else. Move on with your life. And he's chosen not to do that. He's chosen not to do that. He constantly wants to pick a fight, a losing battle that he can't win.
Yeah.
See, the thing is with Cecil, he will go off on a subject like, his raps or whatever else he does do on YouTube. But then he just comes back randomly attacking again. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, from my experience over 3 years. He takes a break and then comes back with a vengeance. And, he has taken a break from talking about this, but in recent times, in the last week, he's back with a vengeance, and he's back attacking again. And at the end of the day, he hasn't taken any accountability, because he's lied through everything he's been through in the last 7 years. If somebody was accused falsely of something, they would do their best to present the evidence to prove their innocence, but Cecil resorts to name-calling, which is a red flag in itself. It means he doesn't have the evidence to show. But when he does, he basically says, videos are edited and all this kind of stuff, and then comes up with excuses that contradicts that piece of so-called evidence that he calls. But most of the time he just resorts to name-calling, which means he doesn't have anything useful to bring to the table to actually sort this. Yet he whinges and cries on the internet that people won't leave him alone, and he doesn't want to talk about it. He was the one that brought up these things and thought it was acceptable and ran with it for a number of years. Saying that, 10-year-olds are fully developed and he was underage and all the rest of it. And, going down that line. And then he goes, the video was edited. The video was edited. It was edited a long time ago. Why didn't he bring it up then? So it's just complete contradictions. But we need to sort of move forward, and we need something that is constructive. Yes, we can make these videos over and back and that, but we need something more.
You know? And the only thing, and you know this, the only thing that stopped me from taking him to the slander court before is the fact that I know it's going to hurt his kid, and it's not her fault. Because they're going to lose that income. They're going to lose that income, and I feel bad about that. But I'm at a point now, like, what else can I do? I've proven, we, as a whole, have proven beyond a doubt he molested kids. And he went uncharged because it was within the family, and they decided to sweep it under the rug.
That's exactly. That is exactly. You brought up a good point there about his kid. And, you know, if he has to face consequences, his kid suffers. But Cecil doesn't think about these things. You know, Cecil is what people call a victim narcissist.
Now, those are all things, everything we know about him has come from his streams and his mouth. Those are the streams that we've recorded. Those are the streams that we've saved. It's not slander when we say it. There are absolutely no streams whatsoever of the opposite, of the things he's claiming we've done. We're not child molesters, we're not child predators, we're not spousal abusers, and we're definitely not interested in him sexually because, quite frankly, we're two well-adapted, handsome men. We could do far better. You know what I'm saying? We could do far better.
No, he's the racist. He's the homophobe. He's the one that he projects in every stream, every time he talks about us. It's all projection, you know. Cecil, if somebody commits a murder 20 years ago, and then, you know, present day, that murder gets discovered, does that mean, do you think that person should not be charged? Oh, yes, that person's going to be charged. And rape is the exact, in my eyes, it's even worse than murder. You're getting charged, buddy. You're not getting off this thing.
Cecil, what he done recently, and he has done throughout the last couple of years, he keeps claiming, you know, I haven't been investigated, I haven't been charged with any crime. And my argument was, well, if a bank robber continues robbing banks and it isn't being apprehended, that doesn't mean he's not a bank robber. He's still a bank robber.
I mean, he's committed slander. It's quite. We have the videos. He has committed slander.
Absolutely, and he's, you know, he's committed slander on numerous people. And the thing is, you know, he, for example, Random News or myself, he would call us cheese pizzas, but he doesn't know where we live. He doesn't know our personal names. He doesn't know anything about us. So his grounds for calling us what he's calling us is absolutely false. Do you know? If it came to a court case, he would have to prove that we were cheese pizzas. And, you know, the fly in the ointment for Cecil is he didn't know our real names at the time. He didn't know where we lived. He thinks I live in London, France. So that's, you know, the ingredients for a complete and utter shit show.
And I'm not going to make statements about him that I can't verify and back up through a video that he's made. And we have those. So unless he issues a formal apology, retracts his statements, and leaves this group alone, within the next 72 hours, I will be contacting my law firm and I will be dealing with it. Because I'm done.
Yep, well said. And I mean, we could even open up multiple cases against him from multiple different states. It could be, you know, we can make this, we could really blow this thing out of proportion if you want us to, Cecil. So I would recommend you to listen to my brother, listen to Scooter.
I mean, we can file in Ohio, we can file in Kentucky, we can file in Virginia, because Those are the places that are involved, the parties. And Krusty, I know England has slander laws. Krusty could, or wait, is he from England or Ireland? I forget where Krusty's from.
Ireland.
I think it's Ireland. Krusty.
I'm in Northern Ireland, which comes under UK legislation.
He could file charges. You know what I'm saying? If he really wanted to. The stuff that he said about Scooter could file charges if he truly wanted to. Random News could definitely file charges if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But I think, Group and Map, it's good to see you. Group, I think that's the point that we're at now with people like Cecil. It's like, what more can we've taken his audience, which was the mission, prevent him from spreading the crap that he was spreading. We have kept a thumb on his pulse to ensure that we know what he's doing, and if it becomes necessary, notifying people within the area by showing them the video. Legally, by the way, all legal. And we have informed the community, which has grown. Like, Scooter wasn't part of the movement originally. Random wasn't part of the movement originally. And Krusty wasn't a part of the movement. Those people came thanks to Marcy and thanks to Daisy Bennings, who brought it to the people's attention. Thanks to Steve-O, Magnitude, State of Disorder, Krusty. All these people came on. They didn't just come on out of the blue. They looked at the evidence. They analyzed. Krusty went so far as to analyze the evidence.
Actually, what brought Cecil to my radar was Master Shredder, yourself, and Order of Magnitude. Now, initially I thought that this possibly is a bit of a witch hunt, and I had to look into it a lot before I made my mind up. And then it didn't take me an awful long time to figure out that what you have presented on the internet was 100% true. And my interactions with Cecil was Cecil overreacting to a simple comment, and it had nothing to do with, wasn't claiming, I wasn't writing in his comment you're a cheese pizza or anything like that. The second time that he resorted to attacking me, there was two main incidents. This second time was basically Order of Magnitude made a post and a link to a video of Cecil with his gun and that, and I watched the video and I forgot to go back, and when I made the comment under Cecil's video and not under Magnitude's post in regard to Cecil, the way he's displaying weapons and the way he's showing them off, and his overall attitude to having a firearm. He doesn't come across as a responsible person with a firearm. That's basically what I was saying. And that kicked off because the comment went under Cecil's video and not under Magnitude's post. And that's when Cecil hit the roof and he called me all sorts of names, and that's where the beef with myself and Cecil originated the second time. I can't fully remember what happened the first time, but I actually was a mod for Cecil under the name Paranormal Pigeon, which Cecil used to call Paranormal Pagan. That was me investigating Cecil for myself, rather than taking your word for it, Master Shredder's or Order of Magnitude. That was me investigating him myself and asking him questions, which he was willing to answer up to a point. And there was two streams. where I was allowed to ask questions, but I knew in the background if I asked too difficult of questions, I was going to get blocked. Now, the only reason he actually modded me is because he couldn't find my channel and he wanted the link to that channel. And I says to him, what are you going to do? Because I'm not a moderator. Only moderators can share links. So in order to get the link to my channel, he had to make me a moderator. So, yeah. And I asked numerous questions. I knew he was lying the whole way through. But when the questions started getting a little bit harder, he had a bit of a slip up. So he blocked me and then he deleted the third stream. You know? But that was me investigating for myself, rather than just taking your word for it. But at this day, you know, this day and age, you know, I back you 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So these people didn't just come on. Oh, and Bada. Yes, I forgot Bada. I'm sorry, Bada. Bada really kept a thumb on this guy. I'm so sorry, Bada. I forgot all about you. But all of those people are the reason why we're at the point we're at today. Nobody has shown up to this guy's house. Nobody's confronted him face to face. Nobody from our group. Those two people that he ended up meeting with at the park, we have no idea. I don't have any idea who those people are. They're not part of my movement. You know? So, you know, that's on them and their involvement in what they're doing. Even they got swatted. Even they still believe that he definitely did those things because the evidence is there.
It's there 100% because Cecil actually said it himself and he tried to roll it back with lies. It's completely obvious. Cecil thinks that other people believe him and that the people that believe you are just clout chasers that are looking for views off Cecil's name. This isn't anything about YouTube, and we all know that. We could be doing something else. In fact, some of us have other channels doing other things. We don't talk about Cecil all the time. That would be a horrible existence, to be focusing on Cecil all the time, which we don't. But we know that Cecil, that's one of his excuses, that these people are talking about me all the time. Shredder is driving around and he's doing nothing, only thinking about me in a gay kind of way and all this kind of crap. It's his way of defending himself, and it just makes him look worse.
It's irrefutable.
It's irrefutable, and we've acted as investigative journalists, if anything. If he wants to really put a title to anything that we've done nothing more than inform the public, and in the process, we've been attacked and slandered, like I said before. And now he's going to pay the consequences. He's going to pay the fight.
Yep.
The thing is too, you know, when it comes to Cecil attacking us, at one stage he says that we're not press, we shouldn't be doing this. You know, his definition of press is people in mainstream media and that. But, and it was made quite clear in the Scientology audits that a person with a camera that makes content is classified as a person of the press. It doesn't matter if it's mainstream media or not. You're still a part of the press.
And I mean, that's where I'm at with it. You know, what more can we do, bro? What more? Nothing else. We've done it all. We've done it all.
Yeah. I mean, like, what has been presented to us in the last 7 years is enough to finish this. Cecil coming on every day talking crap, I don't think it doesn't help him, it really doesn't help us, because we have what we need. You know, the only reason Cecil is continuing to go down this route is he wants to defend himself without presenting evidence which he hasn't got. So he's resorting to attacks. That's all he's doing. It's in a way it's fruitless. It's not going to push us anywhere forward. You know, yeah, he might come on a stream some night and come out with more really messed up stuff. But at this point, we have enough to finish this. You know, so that's I understand RV when he says, you know, this is we don't need any more than this. You know, we've got more than what we need. We need a way to end all of this. Otherwise, it's just going to go around in circles. And we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to get any further than what we're getting at. You know, Cecil won't present evidence. We have the evidence. It came from his mouth. It's been that same argument for the last 7 years. We're not making up stuff. It's come from his mouth. We don't need any more. But we do need an end to this.
You know?
I know. No, that's just it, man. I mean, that's the next step. This is the next step. And the sooner the better in my eyes. I don't even want to give him the opportunity to speak to us. He doesn't deserve that.
There's no point in interviewing him. You know, just be, you know, in late 2023, he done a stream where he invited people to talk to him. You know, URV, Shredder U, and Random News came on to talk to him, and he lied through all of that. You know, there's no point in talking to him. There's no point in having a debate, because Cecil will just continue to lie. Debating with him isn't going to resolve anything, because it's only going to turn into a dumpster fire. You know, we're only arguing the same points over and over again. You know, we need the next step, as Shredder just said.
No, he doesn't. But you know, it shows our willingness to close this without having to go to court. He won't do it because it takes a man with dignity and integrity and honor to say, look, I fucking lied about these guys because they keep holding me accountable for something I said. He doesn't even have to come out and say, I did those things in the video. He said those things, period. And we held him accountable for it for years.
I mean, Scooter, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Scooter, what?
I was going to ask Scooter if he would mind please passing this message along to Cecil, because I believe that Scooter might possibly still be in contact with Cecil. I don't know that Cecil watches it. I don't know. I mean, I think he does, but
everything turns sexual. Everything with him turns sexual. Shredder loves me. Shredder wants my balls in his mouth. He wants us to put our cocks in his hand. Remember that video? I do. I got it. I mean, it's always sexual with him. It's always about penises, vaginas, tits.
Even in his last song, he says he wants to put our cocks in his mouth.
Yeah,
yeah, it's something that Cecil is constantly saying, and it just makes him an even bigger creep than he already is. He's horrible.
I mean, what the fuck?
It's all sexual. That's the only thing he knows how to resort to, man. That's all he knows.
You're right, Buddha. He's still a predator. He's always going to remain a predator until he answers for that. But I can't make his victims come forward and press charges. What I can do is hold him accountable for the slander. It may not be It may not be a 5, 4, 8, 10, 30, or whatever year sentence, but it'll definitely take some freedom away from him. Because I'm done with it. I am done with the slander.
Yeah, I just want justice to be served, and that way we will know that we did everything in our power to bring some form of justice to his victims, you know, and God bless them. If they want to remain anonymous and uninvolved, God bless them. But the fact of the matter is, Cecil is now committing crimes against us and people in this group.
Yes.
We just can't let that. We can't let that happen.
No.
Exactly. I mean, like, Cecil could resolve this very, very quickly, but he chooses not to. Do you know, you've got both sides of all of this. You've got the incidents with the children, and then you have the slander of his critics. You know, the two different things. Both of those things could be solved very, very quickly. You know, he could turn around and apologise to everybody and withdraw the content that slanders people, all the content that slanders all those people, and that would be that part of it solved. Then we have the children thing, but both of those issues remain to be unsolved, and we're going around in circles with this. We need closure to this.
People are holding him accountable for the videos plural, that he made. A couple that admitted to molesting children, several that sexually and derogatorily harassed children, videos of him going to children's homes without their parents' consent, videos of him talking sexually about children, videos of him talking sexually about animals, videos of him slandering people by calling them pedophiles and rapists and all this shit. And the reason why the reason why I have to do this is, as you're aware, I have a pending case in the state of Rhode Island. For the rape and molestation that they caused me and, you know, hundreds of other kids. And we have a bill before the House, which I want people to listen to this, because you should be propositioning your own states if they have a statute of limitations. This bill that we're presenting, for courts receding to civil procedures and procedures generally causes of action, will make all sexual abuse or exploitations of a child, regardless of the action, not subject to the statute of limitations, whether lapsed or time barred. Which means the 7-year statute of limitations currently enacted in Rhode Island that prevents adults like myself from suing the Catholic Diocese in the state of Rhode Island for our rape and molestation that happened to us would be unlimited and lifted. It has the support of 10 of the representatives, and the governor has agreed to sign it if it makes it to his desk. This would allow our $500 million lawsuit to move forward against the Catholic Diocese in the state of Rhode Island.
Here's the problem here in Ireland. There's been a lot of victims of a similar nature with the Catholic Church in Ireland. You know, numerous people, when it came to schools, homes, single mother, hospitals, etc. What they try to do is to try to prolong the case as long as possible, so that the person that committed the offences pass away before justice is served. And that has happened numerous times with cases in Ireland.
Slanderous accusations calling me a pedophile drastically affect the outcome of my testimony, whether directly or indirectly, and therefore requires a litigation suit against the person accusing me, and I am going to ask them to present to me factual proof and evidence of their claims. Otherwise, I will ask the courts to deem it slander and for the jury to award damages as necessary. See, people think this is my first rodeo, brother. I've dealt with congressmen and senators. I've dealt with 2 presidents. I've dealt with an entire Congress to get bills, to get laws, to get things changed in relation to child abuse, in relation to suicide, in relation to equal rights. Please don't test me, Cecil, because you're going to lose. Trust me.
He's going to lose because he doesn't know how to create any kind of defence whatsoever. He's proved that over the last 7 years.
That's right. I know, and brother, it's wonderful that you're doing that. And you've never mentioned this to me, but I don't really care one iota what people say to me. It doesn't bother me. But what something he's brought up recently that's really has bothered me is when he brings up your past, your recent court case, but the past crime that happened to you. And Cecil brings that up, and it just puts a bad taste in my mouth because he has no right to speak on something like that. He has no idea what you have gone through and how far you've come in life, and it just pisses me off that he even has the nuts to even speak on that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've seen the stream where he did actually mock RV over what happened to him. It was quite clearly mocking. The guy's a scumbag. You know, who the fuck does things like that?
I could tell you this. If we hadn't moved so fast, and when I say fast, I mean it's taken us 10 years to get where we're at with the law with Rhode Island. 10 years, okay, to get justice. If when he speaks, I hear a predator talking. I don't hear a victim talking. So a predator talking to me, the victim, absolutely falls on deaf ears, and it wouldn't really matter to me too much if I didn't have these advocacies that I'm doing and these laws that I'm trying to change currently in motion. It doesn't really take from my credibility per se, as far as the platform's concerned, because the people that know me. But when it comes to presenting my testimony to the State House of Representatives in Rhode Island, they're going to look at my social media platform, and they're going to hear these people, Cecil and the other person who shall not be named, but you know who she is. I sent you a text. When they hear people say things like that, even though it's not true, it still puts a doubt in the ears of the people listening to the testimony, and that could be detrimental to a law that could change thousands of people's lives.
Exactly.
That's a litigation. That's a litigation. It has to be litigated. We have to take them to court. I have to take them to court specifically because it does possibly create a damaging situation for me when I go to the State House to represent victims. So, like, you know what I'm saying? I have to do it. I can't. I'm not going to get no money out of either of those two people because they absolutely have nothing. They have nothing to piss in. So, in lieu of money, I have to seek incarceration. And, you know, it's not going to be much, obviously. Maybe 30 days, maybe even 90 days. I don't know. It depends on what the courts decide. But even 5 days in jail may jog these people's heads to start thinking about what they're saying on the internet.
Well, as long as I've known you, brother, you've never once, as long as I've known you, ever done anything solely for financial gain as far as, you know, through the courts or on social media. It's just not who you are, man, you know?
Oh, no, the one, I will tell you this, the one against Rhode Island is definitely financial, that's for financial gain, because I'll never get justice, so I have to take their money. Okay. You know, the Catholic Diocese has billions of dollars to bury people's testimonies. get elected officials in that are going to side with them to keep the statute of limitations limited. We spent 10 years getting those people out of office to get the group that we have today that are on the side of victims. So it's definitely about money. But the difference between me and money is that, and my wife will tell you, our money is going to be used to continue to do the things that we do now, which is to help other families. You know, we heard about a family that needed groceries today. We went and spent, what did we spend on? A couple $100? We went and spent a couple $100 and brought them groceries and put the groceries away. You know, and organized their house and organized their fridge, because that's who we are. That's what we do. You know.
Here's the thing. We have to display that when people, make these accusations towards us, that there is consequences. They can't just get away with it, like.
So, you know, I'm the leader of the lawsuit, so I don't know if you know how class actions work, but when you're class action, the person that brings the class action idea to the law firm becomes the head of the lawsuit, so they get the larger chunk. Okay. And that's going to be used to take care of other victims, to create victim advocacy funds, so that victims can get legal counsel and legal aid to go and take their predators to court and to work on the laws in those states. But mostly it's going to be, obviously we're traveling. We want to help people. I want to help people like you. I think you deserve a new work van, a new work truck, and a nice little business location. For, you know, maybe I'll get 3% of your growth income, which isn't much. It's pennies on the dollar. And that will continue to keep the fund alive, so that we can move on and help the next family and the next people. But that's my goal with that money, because we know for a fact we're going to win if the law changes. If the law changes, our testimonies that I have, the testimonies of the other 7 core victims, they're so strong that they led to a home being searched. One of the predators fleeing to Florida. He died in Florida. But uncovering all those videos of us, the 7 core people on videos being raped and molested by these people. So we have, Father McIntyre was a priest. He adopted a son named Joe McIntyre. And then there was a dozen or so staff members involved in it. There were archbishops from Rhode Island involved with it. There were high politicians involved in it. And we all have a very good memory of because we were the older kids. So we have a core memory of all the places and the names and where they took place. So when our stories matched up with what was in the videos, which we didn't know existed, by the way, we had no idea videos existed. We had no idea that shit was being recorded. So I get really triggered when people defend pedophiles. I get really triggered when people marry pedophiles. I get really triggered when people claim the advocates are pedophiles with zero evidence.
Exactly. I mean, like, we have been, we've been accused of being those kinds of people by Cecil without any grounds. And, he has to realise that there is consequences for that. But when he's saying these things, he's got no regard for the safety of his family. Yes, he would use his daughter and his wife as a shield. Cecil thinks about nobody other than himself. And when he does realise that he's stepped too far, under his level of going too far, he will just delete the video and then deny that he said any of these things. But some of the stuff, he stands by it because he keeps the video up. So, in my case, the video called Life After Life is Cuckoo, where he accused me of being a CP, he stands by that, because when he says he was leaving YouTube, he took down all his videos. Well, he said he took them down, he hid them, and then he gradually put them back up. And I thought, hopefully he's not going to put back up the video Life After Life is Cuckoo. Yet he did. I approached YouTube about this, where, you know, I stated that I'd been accused of a crime that I did not commit, and this is slander kind of thing. And YouTube says we are either going to restrict the where the video is going to be shown, or we're going to take the video down. Are you satisfied with that, or whatever? And then I discovered the video's still up, like. So it's quite obvious that YouTube doesn't seem to give a shit. Do you know? I don't know. You know, my example is just one of the examples of many of his critics and what they have been accused of. You know, he may only say these things out of anger, but he still says them. There needs to be consequences for that, and he's not getting those consequences at the moment. So we need to do something more.
So, you know, the law firm I have operates in all 50 states. They have a special, I forget the word of it. Let me look at the word. There's a legal word for it. Litigating nationally on a pro hoc basis, which means they have an agreement with all the states to be able to litigate sexual abuse, slander, sexual allegations, and rape and abuse of children. So they can litigate in all 50 states, which is good. It's a great law firm, by the way. So why wouldn't I take somebody who's slandering me to court? Part of, as you know, part of what I do is I trigger the people to stream and basically give evidence freely of their own volition. You know, I'm not calling somebody a pedophile that I can't prove has either said they were a pedophile or is documented to have been a pedophile. So, like, those accusations will not fly out of my mouth willy-nilly with no evidence to support it, because that's called slander.
That's exactly why I done so much investigating into Cecil before I supported you know, Master Shredder and Order of Magnitude. I couldn't go into this blindly, so I had to find out for myself. I'm not just going to follow what people say on the internet, no matter if I know them or not. I had to do my own research, and I went over and beyond to do that, including analysing his video, because he had claimed that the video was altered in some way. And, you know, my own analysis of that was that the video wasn't altered. Me analysing the video doesn't make any difference in a court situation, because, you know, when it comes to the police department, they analyse the video for themselves. They're not going to take my word for it, just like I didn't take your word for it. You know? So they're going to find out things for themselves. And they'll probably find out more than we actually know. You know, because they go into a lot more detail than actually we do. So, you know, there's things that we possibly miss that they pick up on. You know, behaviour and analysis and all that kind of thing. You know, we only have the tip of the iceberg here. And that tip of the iceberg is very, very concerning and very compelling.
What's that?
It also puts people's lives at risk.
It also does put people's lives at risk. Because there are crazy people who really hate pedophiles on this platform who will go to these people's houses. So, granted, we're living in the RV life and traveling, so that kind of keeps us moderately safe. But for those people that aren't living that life, who have a physical domicile, that could definitely jeopardize their safety.
Yeah. Cecil doesn't think of that. But when it comes to, slander and stuff like that, Cecil doesn't even do it in a singular kind of way. For example, in my case, he accused me of horrible crimes. He also made fun of my disability. He persecuted me because of a disability. So, that could be another crime in itself. But Cecil doesn't do things by halves when it comes to incriminating himself, let's just say. When somebody has committed some sort of crime, it's usually one thing or one or two things. But Cecil, Cecil really made sure that he was guilty of a lot of things because there's so many things.
Brother, I hate to cut this short, but I just got to my next job. If you want to keep going, please.
No, I'm good. Hey, Bridget, how you doing, babe?
Really good. Yeah. Well, happy birthday, Cecil.
But we're in agreement with the court, right? Because he slandered you too, so I have to name you in the suit, of course.
Right.
For testimony. Yes. So.
Yes.
But I think that's where we're at, because what more can we do online? Nothing.
Exactly.
Except keep highlighting his stupidity, which we can do. But for the most part, like, we already know who he is, we know what he is, we know where he is, we know what he does, and we know how he does it.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
I mean, I'm always going to be here speaking on him, exposing every little thing, every little thing I can do. I'm going to speak on it just to keep on him. But we need to make,
perfect.
We have a greater purpose here, and that's we're making some big moves. So.
Well, I'll give you our contact info to the law firm. It'll probably be a call coming out of Maryland when they call for your statement.
I'm ready, man. I don't even want to give him this chance to speak. I'd like to move on tomorrow personally, but whatever you want to do, I'm on board.
Well, it's going to take like 72 hours to get the paperwork together anyway, give or take.
Okay.
So I figure that's fair. But the ball's in his court for sure. So whoever has the ability to get him that message, the ball's in his court. Because, like I said, I'm done playing. You don't believe me? Look into the lawsuit in St. Aloysius and look at the names involved. I'm right there at the top, folks. I'm not playing anymore. I'm done playing games with stupid people. Done. All right. So that's all I got.
Well said.
Yeah, I mean, like, as we says, things need to move forward. I mean, like, we can go over and back all day, every day, and, at the end of the day, the core of the whole thing is we need this done. We need this finished, But in the meantime, I will continue to take any opportunity to commentate on some of the stupid things that he comes out with. Let's remind ourselves, this is a guy who's 43 today, happy birthday Cecil, who acts in a way that's very concerning while being in a possession of 2 weapons and is threatening to use those weapons, even though he has encouraged people to go face him. He says if he encounters people, certain people, he is within his right to use full force. We know what full force is. But that's enough for today, folks. I've spent enough time on it. Cecil isn't worth it. But happy birthday, Cecil. And happy 2024, Cecil, because it's going to be a difficult year for you. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.